Hi everyone. Today's video is on hands. Have you ever given it much thought to just how much you use your hands in the course of your daily activities? I mean, think about it. You use your hands when you eat, for grabbing a cup, your fork and spoon, your plate. How about opening jars, opening doors, vacuuming, dusting, making your bed, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, when you sign your name, when you drive your car, when you're on the computer, of course, when you're on the phone. And if you're like me and you exercise on a regular basis, think of all the exercises where you need your hands to be able to perform them. So some of them can be pretty intense. For example, planks, push-ups, pull-ups. How about weight machines? Lat pull-downs, bench presses. Then there are dumbbell exercises. The Pilates reformer, you're pulling on straps and pushing on bars. How about sports activities? Tossing a ball, jumping rope, swinging a club. Obviously, we use our hands a lot in many of the activities that we do. So it makes sense then that we should want to take good care of our hands and make sure they're performing as well as possible for as long as possible. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys some exercises and also some information that I'm hoping you're going to find helpful. First, I want to say it's important to remember that not every exercise is appropriate for everybody. So if you try any of these exercises and you experience pain or discomfort, it's really important that you stop. Another way of putting it is stay in your comfort zone. Don't overdo. Also, I want to talk about the word homeostasis, which means balance. It's about balance in your body so that all the systems are working optimally, right? You don't have any pain, you don't have any discomforts, everything's working well. So one of the things that we get from exercise is circulation of fluids, and actually this plays a really big role in keeping us healthy, the hands included. So a couple of key fluids that you have in your hands are blood, and another one called synovial fluid, which is in your joints. So what these fluids do is to lubricate structures. They bring nutrients and oxygen to the hands, and they also remove waste products and toxins. So it's really important that we get the crud out of the body. Also, you need to know that how much of these fluids that you have in your body at any given time relates to how hydrated you are overall. So it's really important that we drink plenty of water. As a matter of fact, all of the body processes require water. So if you're even a little dehydrated, all of your abilities will be impaired. For example, think about your brain. If you're dehydrated, your ability to focus is going to decrease. Your ability to remember is going to decrease. Your energy levels will probably go down. Your moods might go down. And of course, the brain is the control center for the body. So everything the brain controls is going to be impaired because of the brain's impairment. Your muscles aren't going to function as possible, and when you do your exercises, they're not going to perform as well, give you the best results. So think about that the water really is important. As a matter of fact, another thing, a lot of people have issues with too much tension in their body, and anxiety, which is a form of tension, is the way we can think about it. Well, sometimes muscle tension, it's the symptom of dehydration. So in many cases, just making sure that you're hydrated enough can get rid of those symptoms. I'm not saying 100% of the time, but it's one of the reasons you can have too much tension, just being dehydrated. So give that some thought. Also, A little anatomy lesson for those of you who don't know. We have actually different types of muscle in the body. Muscles will have different shapes and sizes, that kind of thing. But in terms of the muscles that we'll use for the hands and wrists, the muscles all share a pretty similar shape and structure. So there's the bigger, thicker area of the muscle that we call the muscle belly. And the muscle belly, because it's bigger, it gets ample blood supply. And this part of your muscle is made to do the brunt of the work when you exercise. If you happen to do too many repetitions, or if you work out too intensely and over-injure that muscle belly, it's actually equipped to heal well. But as the muscle comes out towards its ends, it becomes a structure called the tendon. The tendon is much smaller than the muscle belly, and it does not get anywhere near the same blood supply that the muscle belly gets. So the tendon is the part of your muscle that attaches the muscle to bones, and that's really its job. The tendon's job is to attach your muscle to the bone. So when you squeeze your muscle, contract your muscle, the muscle belly is going to pull on the tendon, which is going to pull on the bone, and that's how you create movement. If the muscle belly is not contracting, if it's not engaging well, what ends up happening is that the tendons and the joint structures get overtaxed. And over time, it can cause problems. It can cause irritation, inflammation, and pain. So when you're doing your exercises, focus on the thicker areas of muscle and make a conscious effort to get those muscles to engage during your exercises. So as we begin with the exercises for your wrist, I'm going to wrap my right hand around my left forearm, and this is going to help me sense the muscle bellies. And by the way, the forearm muscles are largely responsible for the mobility of your wrist and your hand. So I'm holding on to the muscle bellies, and we're going to be working in 3 planes of motion. I'm starting in the first plane where we're doing flexion and extension, bending forwards, bending backwards. And under my right hand, I can feel the muscle bellies moving. They're contracting, they're changing in their shapes. So I can feel them move the hand, and that helps me to concentrate on engaging those muscles even better, so that after I do 10 repetitions, I shouldn't feel irritation either in the wrist or the hand. It's okay if the muscle bellies feel challenged. Then we're going to do 10 with the hand open. The same exercise, flexion and extension. And then when we're done with that one, we're going to work in the second plane of motion, which is sideways. So I have a gentle fist again. I'm going side to side at the wrist. And again, the muscle bellies engaging. And after I do 10, I do this with the hand open 10 times. And then the next exercise is the third plane of motion, where we're going to do rotation. I'm going to do 10 circles in one direction. I'll do 10 with the hand closed, and then 10 with the hand open. And then I'm going to reverse, and again 10 with the hand closed and 10 with the hand open. And then we'll let the forearm rest for just a bit before we do the hand exercises. So you might have gotten tired doing that, and ideally you were tired in the thick area of muscles, and you stayed very comfortable in the wrist and in the hand. Another benefit of concentrating on muscle engagement is that it's good for your brain. When we exercise, if you just go through the motions and you do the same old thing in the same old way, you don't really challenge your brain very much, not that well, as compared to if you really concentrate and focus on doing things differently. So in the case of paying attention to the muscle bellies, and you're concentrating on getting them to engage better, and you can also feel which muscles engage to create which movement. All of this interaction between the brain and the muscles is causing you to develop new neural pathways. So the brain is going to be able to communicate with your muscle better, and your muscle is going to be able to communicate with your brain better. And so, to put it in simple terms, it's strengthening your brain. So when you exercise, you're not just strengthening muscles, you're strengthening your nervous system, and actually other tissues in your body respond to exercise as well. So there are other changes which can include increasing mitochondria, which are responsible for your energy levels, and also adding new vessels, new blood vessels. So it's really interesting. When you're exercising, a lot is going on. Okay, the hand exercises are next. We're going to start in the first plane of motion. We're going to flex and extend again. So we're starting by making a fist and then opening the fingers all the way. Again, I'm thinking about the forearm muscles being engaged as I exercise, and after doing 10 of those, we're going to go with just the fingers bending without actually coming all the way down over the palm. And after 10 of those, long fingers are going to reach down to the heel of the hand and do 10 of those. And then try reaching the long fingers to the heel of the hand one at a time. And we try not to let the other fingers move, but it's kind of hard. And then the thumb is going to reach all the way over towards your pinky, the lower pinky area. So those are flexion and extension, and then we need sideways for the second plane of motion. So we're going to open the fingers wide and then close the fingers back in. And you can also stretch between the fingers. So you can pull the thumb and the first finger apart, and then I'm pulling the second finger and mid finger apart, and going, of course, across the hand. And of course, you do that to both hands. The third plane. Rotation again. We're going to stir the pinky fingers around 10 times. And when we're done with 10, we're going to go the other way. Now, keeping all the other fingers as still as I can. And then when I'm done with the pinky, it's on to the ring finger. And of course, the pattern is the same, going all the way across. Let's see. Those exercises were mostly in the area of strengthening. So let me give you some that are more in the area of loosening up. First one, we're going to take each finger and just gently wiggle it a few times. Thinking about release, loosening up. And then in this one, I have my hand open, and I'm going to take the right thumb, and I'm starting to draw little circles from the heel of the hand up to each fingertip. Now, I don't know if you can see that as I move the blood along, when I get to the end of the fingertip turns kind of red. And let's see, yeah, I'm stretching the palm open. I'm stretching these fingers open a bit. How far you go with the stretches, you want to be careful at first again, because some people like to really draw the fingers back, and think it feels good to them. So you're going to have to listen to your internal guidance system and figure out what feels good to you, not painful to you. When I get to the thumb, I'm using the index finger and mid finger, and again, circles all the way up to the tip of the thumb. Another one is gentle traction of the wrist, so I'm gently drawing the hand out away from the wrist structure, creating more space inside that wrist joint. It's also creating space in the finger joints as I draw out across the fingers. For those of you who spend a lot of time bunching up your fingers, these exercises where you draw the hand back open will probably feel pretty good to you. So that's it for the exercises that I have for you guys today. I hope you'll find at least some of them useful. I do plan on posting more videos in the areas of exercise and wellness in the near future, so I hope you'll look for me again soon. And I really appreciate that you are watching today, so thank you so much.